What's up, guys? It's Matt with bokehbro.com and welcome to the very first Let's Shoot. In this episode, we're out here at Kealia Pond and we're just going to shoot some photos. There's some really cool boardwalks, some cool birds, there's some just really awesome little ponds out here. The whole thing's one big pond, actually. But other than that, let's jump right into it and start shooting some photos. So I think we're going to be able to get some really cool shots here. These boardwalks are really cool, and they got some nice like twists and turns in them, and there's some really cool fog and haze hanging around on the mountains. So let's see what we can get. Alright, so I think this will be a really cool spot to shoot at. We got some really cool little channels of water out here in the pond. So I'm going to break out the Nikon and snap some photos out here as well. I think I want to go with the wide angle, but we're going to try some shots on the 50 first and just see what we can get. I think some nice tighter shots out here would be pretty good as well. Some of these channels of water, like I was saying. So we'll give that a shot and just see what we can get. Whoa, we got this really cool like pagoda looking thing. And I think that's going to turn out to be a really cool wide-angle shot. So let me set up the camera here. I'm just using the Joby GorillaPod mounted on these railings. And that's looking pretty sweet. So while that time lapse is going, I snapped a few photos in here as well. Got some stuff with the Nikon 14 to 24. Super wide angle lens, really captured this whole scene, and I think those shots turned out really well. Stick around to the end of this video and I'll jump into the computer and we can actually edit some of those, and I think we're gonna get some really cool photos out of this. I'm really liking this little lens flare we got going on too. Ooh, there it was, right there. But some pretty cool stuff out here. I actually haven't been here before, but we're getting some really cool shots. I shot a bunch on this camera, which is my new Canon 70D that I just got yesterday in the mail. So I was definitely excited to play with that. So that was part of this adventure as well. I definitely wanted to shoot some photos on that. We're going to shoot a few more later. But I'm pretty happy with how things are turning out so far. We're obviously going to have to see in the computer how things turned out, but so far so good. So that's about all we got here at Kealia Pond. I got a bunch of cool photos, a bunch of cool wide angles, a bunch of cool ones of that. Sunset is looking fantastic right now. It's just about to dip down below those mountains. Those are the West Maui Mountains out here on Maui. And this is a pretty awesome place. I can't believe I haven't been out here before. So many birds out here. These Let's Shoot episodes, I'm sure I will figure them out slightly better than this one. But this is just the trial run. I'm going to try to get a little more in-depth and look at some more advanced techniques in the photography side of things. Maybe we can head down to the beach right now and get some long exposures of the waves. So maybe we'll go do that right this second and see what we can get. So I think this shot we got right here is actually going to be really cool with that tree right there. I'm going to pop on the ND filter to cut a lot of that light out, and we're going to get a real nice long exposure with the crashing waves, with the tree, and it should be pretty cool. I don't know if you guys can even hear me or not, but turn this back. That's the shot we're going for with those trees and the nice smooth water. Alright guys, so I just got done taking a few long exposure shots. One thing to note, do not put your camera on this wobbly tree branch. You get less than perfect results. It was a little blurry because the tree was blowing in the wind, but I think we still got some stuff even at 30-second exposures. So that's about it for here on the beach. Hopefully you guys can hear me over these waves. It's crazy how loud they are. We also got some planes landing. Probably can't see it, but it just flew through here. So I think that's about it for today. We're gonna check this out, see how everything turned out, and see if this is something we're gonna do more of, because I really like it to be. Just checking out all these cool spots on Maui and shooting some photos. So I'm gonna head home now. Hang in there for a bit, and we will check out some of these shots I took today on the computer. Alright guys, so here we have all of the photos that I shot today between the Nikon D800 with the 14 to 24 millimeter lens, the 50 millimeter 1.8 lens, and the Canon with the 18 to 135 and the 10 to 18 STM lenses. So let's just jump in here and take a real quick look at some of these photos. Here's that one from that little pagoda. That one came out really cool. I just brightened some things up and brought out some colors. Here you can see the difference between straight out of the camera and the final edit. Pretty big difference there, so that's always cool to look at. I can even just reset it. That's the original, and that's the final. Pretty cool stuff. I really like that one a lot. Here's another one that we have. This one's just okay, I guess. Nothing too crazy here. I was pretty rushed. I guess I have a legitimate excuse for why some of these aren't that great, and that's just because it's really hard to shoot video of yourself shooting photos. But I think I did an alright job. This one's just okay, I guess. And it was a new camera, so a bunch of things adding up. Well, this wasn't a new camera, but this one was. So here's just a shot of the camera setup that I was filming with. I think it looks pretty sweet. We got the Joby GorillaPod, Canon 70D, zoomed in with the Rode VidMic Pro stereo style. So that one's kind of cool as well. We got these little rainbow lens flares down here. Those were interesting. So that one's kind of cool. As far as editing goes, I usually just use my preset pack that is available on bokehbro.com in the store. For this one, I just used the Summer Sun preset and made a few tweaks to like contrast and some of the exposure settings down here. But otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. Just click the preset and you get the edit. Now this one's really cool. I really like this one a lot. I'll reset it and show you the before and after. So there's straight out of the camera, and you'll see it's all like distorted, but then now it's nice and straight. To do that, I basically just use the feature in Lightroom for the lens corrections, the perspective controls. You come down here, I just clicked auto, and it did a great job, so I'm pretty happy with that. Otherwise, again, just using that Summer Sun preset to get the edit. I really like this lens flare too. That's really cool. Some people like lens flares, some don't, but I'll leave that up to you to be the judge. I personally like them. This one's okay. I kind of like these lines leading up to this. I have another shot very similar that I think I like more. I think some of this is a little distracting with all these highlights in here. Here's another one. I like this one more than the last, just because it's a little bit simplified. For these past two, I've been using the Lush preset, and then I just kind of adjusted exposure and contrast again like I did before. So super easy to edit, very quick. Moving forward, we got this one of this little stork heron. I don't know what it is, but it's not loading very well. There we go. On this one, again, I applied that same Lush preset and I just cropped in a bit. That's really it for this one. Super simple. So here's the one I was talking about. This one's very similar to this one, if my computer stops being slow. So these two are very similar, that one and this one. I think I like this one more just because it's not as busy, and these foreground elements are much nicer, and it's just composed better. I really just like the composition on this one better, and I really like this just sticking out there. It looks super cool, in my opinion, and you can really see how hazy it was today. It was crazy out there. I don't know why it was possibly like that. We'll move on to the next one eventually. I may have clicked it twice. Hang on. It's being so slow right now. Filming these videos on screen takes a while. It's very strenuous on the computer. But here's that 30-second exposure I did with the ND filter. You can see 30 seconds at f/22, ISO 100. So that was a long shutter for this blurred water, the motion blur there. You got some of it in the trees too, which isn't ideal. Realistically, I don't like this shot. There's just not much to it. There's no real subject. I guess this tree branch, but it's really not that interesting. I just kind of wanted to play around with that filter, and while filming this video, I was pretty rushed, so I didn't really take the time to get a good composition. So that one's kind of a throwaway for me, but I figured I'd include it just because that was a big part of the video. But we'll move along. And then here was another shot of this, but with the Canon. For so much less money, the Canon does a very nice job. I think that lens that is on here, the 10-18, is like $250 compared to the lens that's on the Nikon, which is ridiculous. So if you're worried about getting the best of the best camera, you really shouldn't, because clearly the lesser expensive stuff will work just fine. I mean, the 70D is still a good camera, and it's not exceptionally cheap, but it's a lot less cheap than my D800. So you can still get really cool results and really professional results with the lower end cameras, some of the prosumer cameras they call it. But I'll lower those highlights. But if you're interested in the what's it called, the filter pack, or the what's it called, preset pack. Sorry about that. That just totally slipped my mind. You can get 15 of these awesome presets for only $7. One click just to apply all of these edits to any of your photos. It's super convenient. It's how I edit my photos for the most part. And other than that, if you want to get these raw files to edit for yourself, check out the Editors Club up in the store. All that information is on the website, bokehbro.com, and just click the store link in the top navigation and you'll find all that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.